Imagine a war so brutal, it killed more Americans than both world wars combined. A war fought not against a foreign power, but brother against brother, neighbor against neighbor. This was the American Civil War. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into one of the most defining chapters in American history, the Civil War. This wasn't just a battle over land or power. This was a war about identity, morality, economics, and the very soul of a young nation trying to figure out what it stood for. Whether you're brand new to Civil War history, or you've heard a few things here and there, stick around. Because we're breaking it down in a way that's easy to follow, full of fascinating stories, and, fair warning, might just change the way you see America. Let's rewind to the early 1800s. America's still a growing country. But beneath the surface, things are boiling. The North and the South. Two very different worlds. The North was industrializing fast. Factories, railroads, urban centers. The South, still heavily reliant on agriculture, particularly cotton, and that meant slavery. Now, slavery had been debated since the very founding of the country, but as new states joined the Union, the big question kept coming up. Would they allow slavery or not? Every time Congress tried to compromise, it just kicked the can down the road. And then came Harriet Beecher Stowe's novel, Uncle Tom's Cabin. It shook the nation and personalized the horrors of slavery for readers across the North. Then came Bleeding Kansas, literal bloodshed over slavery. And in 1859, John Brown, an abolitionist, led a violent raid on Harper's Ferry, hoping to start a slave uprising. He failed, but he lit a match. Then in 1860, boom, Abraham Lincoln gets elected president. He's not calling to end slavery everywhere, but he does oppose its spread. The South sees this as a threat to their way of life. So one by one, Southern states begin to secede, starting with South Carolina. Eventually, 11 states form the Confederate States of America, with Jefferson Davis as their president. And on April 12, 1861, Confederate forces fire on Fort Sumter in South Carolina. That's it. War has begun. At first, both sides thought it'd be quick. Spoiler, it wasn't. The North had more people, more factories, and more railroads. But the South had brilliant generals like Robert E. Lee, home advantage, and fierce motivation. Let's hit some key battles. Battle of Bull Run, 1861. The first major battle. The North expected a cakewalk. Instead, they got whipped. People literally picnicked to watch the battle and ran home in fear. Antietam, 1862. The bloodiest single day in American history. Over 22,000 killed or wounded. A tactical draw, but gave Lincoln the confidence to issue the Emancipation Proclamation. That's huge, because now, the war wasn't just about preserving the Union, it was about ending slavery. And it kept European countries, who opposed slavery, from supporting the South. Gettysburg, 1863. Probably the turning point. Lee invades the North and is defeated in a massive 3-day battle. Over 50,000 casualties. Lincoln's Gettysburg Address soon follows. A short but powerful speech about democracy and sacrifice. Sherman's March to the Sea, 1864. Union General William Tecumseh Sherman burns and destroys a swath through Georgia to break the South's will to fight. Total war. Finally, in April 1865, after a siege at Petersburg, Lee surrenders to Union General Ulysses S. Grant at Appomattox Courthouse. Just 5 days later, Lincoln is assassinated by John Wilkes Booth. The Civil War ended slavery, but left deep scars. Over 600,000 dead, cities ruined, families divided forever. And although slavery was gone, racism, segregation, and injustice remained for generations. The 13th Amendment ended slavery. The 14th and 15th Amendments promised citizenship and voting rights. But the Reconstruction era that followed was rocky, full of resistance, violence, and broken promises. Yet through all of it, the Civil War forced America to confront its contradictions. Who gets to be free? What does equality mean? And what's the cost of denying it? These questions are still relevant today. The Civil War wasn't just about the past, it's a mirror reflecting our values, our struggles, and how far we've come, or still have to go. So next time someone mentions the Civil War, remember, it wasn't just a battle of North versus South. It was a battle over what kind of country America wanted to be. If you learned something new today, hit that like button. It really helps the channel out. Drop a comment. Which part of the Civil War surprised you the most? Let's get a conversation going. And don't forget to subscribe for more history told the way it should be, real, raw, and unforgettable. Until next time, keep asking questions and keep exploring the past.